I'm your host for this episode of Dynamic Words, a brand new series brought to you by Dynamic Works Institute. We've all been inspired by countless dynamic individuals we've encountered throughout our career. Dynamic Words is our way of bringing these incredible voices to the forefront. This podcast is more than just a series, it's a platform for thought leaders, change makers, and innovators to share a little bit about themselves, their career path, and their leadership style. I am thrilled you've decided to join us today. And I'm excited to introduce Eric Jones. Eric is the Corporate Programs and Risk Assessment Director for DESI, and he has made significant strides in the field of Job Corps. So it's going to be really interesting talking to Eric today. His journey is a testament to his word, which is balcony. And I can't wait for him to share his insights and experiences with all of us. So get ready to be inspired, challenged, and motivated as we uncover the power of words in leadership and life. So let's get started. Welcome, Eric.
Well, thank you. Good
I'm
day.
so
How are
thrilled to
you
have
doing
you.
today?
Tell me
Thank
about your beautiful background there. Where are you today?
I am in Atlanta. Nice and warm, a little cloudy Atlanta today. I'm at my oldest son's home, so
Oh,
get to go from grandchildren to grandchildren's home. So I'm stationed here for the next 2 or 3 months.
I love that because I see you always in a job corps center or a corporate location. So it's great to see you in your home environment today. It's nice to see you home, especially with the holidays coming. So
Yeah.
fantastic. Tell everybody a little bit about you, a little bit about your backstory, a brief overview of your career, and where you come from.
From Kansas City. I'm a Kansas City kid. Really have a very strong connection with the work that we do through Job Corps and workforce development. As a high school dropout back in 85, 86, was referred to a Job Corps type of program from a workforce development office. I needed more skills. I got my GED at that junior college and facility maintenance, and then earned a scholarship for psychiatric aid. Um, Again, it was very similar to the Job Corps scholarship. I met a bunch of professionals there at the Parsons State Hospital and Training Center as a Special Olympic coach. Did that for 7 years. Got my associate's degree. Got my bachelor's degree. Job Corps paid for my master's degree, and I have a pre-PhD, all pretty much funded directly through special education programs through Job Corps and or workforce development. So this is what I've done off and on for the last 25 years. I love it. We change lives and we save lives. So that's me.
And that is why I asked you to be on here. Your commitment and your passion for the work you do is something that I resonate with and really value in people that are part of our dynamic culture, our dynamic team, and you being one of the leaders of DESI. It's been really amazing to see your energy level and your commitment to the field really and to the young people that we serve. So I'm thrilled you're here. Tell me about your word. The word balcony is an interesting one as a tool that you've used. Why balcony? Define it for me a little bit. Give us the backstory.
So I came across it, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it is a leadership concept. I like to use the word leadership vista.
Mm,
We have a strong Latino population, so it's not just the location of a balcony, but it's really about the view. And in leadership, oftentimes, we're just doing crisis management, we're just doing conflict management, we're just problem solving, we're working at production and we're so in the weeds often that when we get to a sticking point, it's important to get a new perspective. And so, mentally to try to get above the fray or get above, I like to think of it really not even as conflict. I don't even look at conflict as conflict more. I like to look at it as a dance floor, and the
mm.
balcony above the dance floor, you see everyone dancing and you see the people on the wall and you see all the different dynamics that are going on. And if you happen to be the DJ that's on the balcony, your job is to try to get everyone engaged. And that's really what the balcony leadership perspective is for me. You're trying to get people engaged, enjoy themselves, while also, being part of the party, being part of the dance. So I know you love music.
I
I love
do.
music. I was a drummer, and yeah, it's balcony means a lot to me right now.
I think that's fantastic. I love how you define that because everyone will have their own little takeaway from this, of course, today. But I love the association with music and dancing and all those things. I think a lot of people can relate to that. That was amazing. So, when you look back on your career, you said you've been doing this for 25 or so years. Can you give me a pinpoint time when balcony was critical? And it could be, Eric, doesn't have to be with you as a staff member. It could be when someone looked over the balcony and saw you.
Yeah.
Tell us about a time.
Well, I use it so often. I can't really specifically go back. I mean, I could a bunch of different situations, and with everyone on the call, I definitely don't want to use any names or any perspective, but specifically in the last, 6, 7, 8 years. But I can say that, you know, being an acting or interim center director at the Dayton Job Corps Center and the Casadega Job Corps Center, I can see that the people on the dance floor have changed a lot. And they tend
Mm.
to not be they might be there for the music, but not want to dance. That they've seen a lot of leadership. They have a lot of things going on, and they really need to be motivated. But you have to really, really get to know that your staff. It's not just about your customers; it's about your staff. To get the highest, level of engagement. And you say engagement all the time. You're looking at levels of engagement between the customer and the staff that we have. But it's really, as a leader, our responsibility for it. And probably in the last 4 or 5 months, I've been challenged to listen to some new music, get some new genres under my belt,
Mm.
because our staff are changing, and the world that we're living in is changing, but the needs production and customer service hasn't. And so it's upon a leader, right, to be that DJ or be that professional musician that has more modern music, trying to stay up to the technology and everything going on. And I can say in the last 3 or 4 months, I've been really, really challenged, because the old music that I was playing wasn't working. Right, it just wasn't working. The music that I love, and there's a lot of new music out there. There's gospel rap, there's rock and roll country, there's R&B country, and as we get older, we tend to just love our favorites. But as we get these newer employees come in, we got to have a wider genre. And so, I can say I've really been reading a lot of books, audiobooks, and the current audiobook to add new style of leadership or music to my balcony perspective is called "The Mountain Is You." Um, I think it's by Sharon West, Weist, and it really lets us know as leaders, you know, we are our main tool. We can't still think externally. We still have to think internally. What can we do to help our leadership staff bring out the best in our team?
I love that. I have to tell you, when I went from being in a classroom impacting hundreds of kids a year to working with people who impact people, and that's what you're talking about, the multiplication factor as a leader and the ability to get more people on the dance floor. And I just think you saying adapting to what's going on right now and working with multiple generations. This is probably the most generations that people will work with uh, in the career, just because of so many mature workers continuing to work, and when we welcome them, but there's a whole lot of gaps going on there. That's fascinating. So you said you had some challenges. I'm curious to know, have you had the opportunity to share this philosophy with, and again, no names, but an individual or some individuals that a light bulb went off and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally get this word balcony. Can you share a little bit about that? And I think most importantly, there will be leaders watching this to go, oh, I want to take that and apply it in my operation. How
Right.
would you help them with that?
Right. Well, the first thing I've been doing is sharing books. I don't know if you can see that. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Mountain is You. I mean, it's actually Brianna West. And so I really take pride in listening to audiobooks or reading books, 1 or 2 books a month, and I share them with the team in little nuggets that I get. I don't know if I've shared the phrase balcony with me, with my leadership team as much. In fact, it's because you know. some of the leadership staff I have are from total different backgrounds. Gar McCrimmon, our new center director at the Dayton Job Corps, is a hockey, referee, collegiate level, and
Mhm.
so we talk a lot about sports. And he's a big movie buff, right? And then we have Virginia. Wanzer at the Casadega Job Corps Center, and she's a mom and a grandparent and other things, and so I think of balcony when I'm thinking, what's going on? How can I figure this out? And I go to the balcony. I actually don't use those phrases that much, and I probably should with
Yeah,
my leadership staff because I'm using more analogies based on what I know about them. I try to know them on a personable level. Um, I can actually tell you this is a perspective that I've learned is sometimes when you cannot get somebody on board or you feel like you do not have the talent or the knowledge that you need to get that person motivated. Sometimes we see in some leadership people, they're just in a negative rut, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
they want to vent. And what I have learned in my last 2 3 years is you have to step back and set boundaries. You have to realize when you're coaching someone, you know it is personable, but it is professional, but it's not personal. And when you get to a situation where you think somebody is codependent and calling you every day and inventing and everything else, they may need extra help. And then that's when I get HR involved or someone else involved because we still, as executive leaders, have to keep a boundary for ourselves, for our own mental health, where only families allowed into that area. And that is something I refer to often to my leadership people. How's work life balance? Do you need can when's a good time to talk about this impact when your personal life is impacting your work. Oftentimes our staff are juggling so many things,
yeah.
and you can sense it, but you can't sense it because we care about our job so much that we departmentalize and we throw everything in there, but you sense something's going on. And then you have to ask. I had a conversation with one of my leadership staff yesterday. I'm like, "Are you all right?" He goes, "No, I'm just pushing through it. I'm just pushing through it." I'm like, okay. When are you taking some time off? Do you need me there? What's going on? When can we talk? And that's a whole nother, perspective of it when you realize that the music that you're playing, everyone's enjoying the music, but there's a reason why they're not dancing. There's a reason,
Right.
and it could be you or not. It may not be you, and so then you got to go to that person. And it's like, hey, what's really going on?
Yeah,
Because we all have families, we all have lives to live, um, and we don't want people to get burnt out. We don't want people to come through a crisis. We are here to protect the customer and help them have a workforce life where they can take themselves out of poverty. A, B, C, D. Crisis, Maslow hierarchy of needs, can take anyone back into that, and we definitely would not be doing our mission any justice if we did not show how much we care about our staff.
I love that. And, if we expect our staff to dignify and validate our customers, we have to pour ourselves into them at the same intensity. That's something that you and I are cut from the same cloth on that for sure, Eric. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank those of you that tuned in for Dynamic Words. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Eric. We don't do it enough. Thanks for
Well,
your
thank
time and
you.
your insight. Absolutely. And as we wrap up our conversation, we hope you leave feeling inspired and empowered by the power of today's dynamic word, which is balcony. If you enjoyed our episode, please share it with your friends and colleagues who might find it just as inspiring. And don't forget to subscribe to the series for more compelling discussions with our outstanding leaders. But until next time, keep embracing the power of words. This is Terry Lyston with Dynamic Works Institute signing off from Dynamic Words. Stay dynamic and stay inspired, everybody. Thanks, Eric.
Welcome. Bye bye.